OSHA's bloodborne pathogen standard. Bloodborne pathogens are infectious microorganisms present in blood that can cause disease in humans. These pathogens include, but are not limited to, hepatitis B virus, hepatitis C virus, and human immunodeficiency virus, the virus that causes AIDS. Workers exposed to bloodborne pathogens are at risk for serious or life-threatening illnesses. Follow up to any occupationally exposed worker who experiences an exposure incident. An exposure incident is a specific eye, mouth, other mucous membrane, non-intact skin, or parenteral contact with blood or other potentially infectious materials. This evaluation and follow-up must be at no cost to the worker and includes documenting the routes of exposure and the circumstances. The healthcare professional will provide a limited written opinion to the employer, and all diagnoses must remain confidential. Use labels and signs to communicate hazards. Warning labels must be affixed to containers of regulated waste containers of contaminated reusable sharps, refrigerators and freezers containing blood or other potentially infectious materials, or OPIM, other containers used to store, transport or ship blood, or OPIM, contaminated equipment that is being shipped or serviced in bags or containers of contaminated laundry except as provided in the standard. Facilities may use red bags or red containers instead of labels. In HIV and HBV research laboratories and production facilities, signs must be posted at all access doors when OPIM or infected animals are present in the work area or containment module. Employers must provide information and training to workers. Employers must ensure that their workers receive regular training that covers all elements of the standard, including but not limited to information on bloodborne pathogens and diseases, methods used to control occupational exposure, hepatitis B vaccine, and medical evaluation and post-exposure follow-up procedures. Employers must offer this training on initial assignment at least annually thereafter, and when new or modified tasks or procedures affect protections provided by OSHA's bloodborne pathogen standard. All of the requirements of OSHA's bloodborne pathogen standard can be found in Title 29 of the Code of Federal Regulations at 29 CFR 1910.1030. The standard's requirements state what employers must do to protect workers who are occupationally exposed to blood or other potentially infectious materials as defined in the standard. That is, the standard protects workers who can reasonably be anticipated to come into contact with blood or OPM as a result of doing their job duties. In general, the standard requires employers to establish an exposure control plan. This is a written plan to eliminate or minimize occupational exposures. The employer must prepare an exposure determination that contains a list of job classifications in which all workers have occupational exposure and a list of job classifications in which some workers have occupational exposure, along with a list of the tasks and procedures performed by those workers that result in their exposure.